my name is Kenzie. It is nice to see you again. And I actually wanted to talk about and reminisce lessons I learned from a year of sewing. So this year was the year I decided to really go full into sewing. And honestly, I learned a lot of lessons. But I chose 5 so I don't overwhelm you. Anyways, let's get into it. The first lesson I learned is kind of lighthearted. We get into serious ones later, but the first lighthearted lesson is just my appreciation for clothes and how they are made and manufactured, and even with other people's own makes. I just find such endearment looking at them, looking at the seams and workmanship of it, and it's just really fun to have that perspective while I'm looking for clothes, which then leads me into my second point, which is I'm the captain of my own wardrobe. So while I'm looking at these various craftsmanship, seams and stuff, I've noticed that certain fabrics I gravitate more and love more than others, and I can honestly make clothes from these fabrics, which is cool to think that I don't have to go to a Walmart or any type of boutique or clothing store to find the clothes that I love out of fabrics I love. I don't have to even wait for a trend cycle to start finding the styles I love. I love a 90s, 80s kind of fashion. It just, I don't know, something about that era just sings my heart. And I think it is still very trendy right now, but there's been many times in my life where it hasn't been, and it's just really cool to have this idea of I could make anything that I want. I can replicate any favorite clothing pieces I have, even though they're out of style. I still love them. And that's just mind-boggling to do. The third lesson that I learned and even experienced is just the amount of confidence that sewing really gave me, which was so unexpected. I wasn't really thinking that learning how to sew and being a beginner at this was going to add anything to my confidence, but I definitely have just had an amazing time throughout this journey. And it's not because it has always been easy. I've never hit any roadblocks. I have hit every freaking stumbling block, and I'm sure I'm still going to in the future. But the reason why I have just been able to problem solve it, and that's why I feel so confident, and figuring it out once and for all is just chef's kiss. It just makes me feel so happy and like a mastermind at it. It's been wonderful. I also think that sewing for me is a very visual gratification process, because I see fabric cut up into random pieces, and as I'm pinning it, I'm starting to see and understand what it's gonna look like, but then putting it through the sewing machine really just excites me, and it's just oh my gosh, this thing is coming together. This is an actual working shirt. Oh my gosh, when 20 minutes ago it was just fabric on the floor. It's honestly been really eye-opening. In the beginning, I was so nervous about sewing. I thought it was gonna be really hard, but now that I've been tackling it, I started to think more of other hobbies that I've put on a pedestal that I thought were going to be hard, and the sewing just springboarded me into these hobbies, and I started to learn how to make sourdough baked goods. I've started to do embroidery, crocheting. I'm looking into canning and knitting. I have just become an old grandma at this point, but I am so truly happy because these hobbies I've been wanting to do for eons, and now I'm starting to do them because I've realized that, you know what, they're not as complicated as I thought they were. We got this. So I have just been enjoying this new wealth of confidence from this journey. The fourth thing that I learned from this journey, and still am learning to be honest, is to not letting the beginner title hold you back from creating what you want to create. And there's this quote I read in a book recently. Let me pull it up for you. When people hide behind their limitations, they can't see anything else. And I think for me as a beginner, I was hiding behind that beginner title. I was searching all beginner friendly projects and what to do as a beginner, how to help my sewing journey or whatever. And all of the project ideas that these various people were giving me were nothing I wanted to make. I wanted to make knit fabric. I wanted to use rayon and crepe fabric. I wanted to learn how to sew zippers and buttonholes and interfacing and lace. And the list was going on and on. But all of the videos were like not advising to even go into those layers until you've gotten used to sewing for a bit. And honestly, that just kind of killed my buzz. Like, I was so excited to just go full throttle, and yet all of the projects that I really wanted to do weren't advised to do or to start as a beginner. And then I decided to just ditch the title of being a beginner in full, and that's when everything just started opening up to me, and I started to feel like the world is my oyster. And the fifth and final lesson I learned is to use your community. And I know I'm dropping another quote on you, but I promise it is all tying up into a nice little present, okay? The quote I wanted to reference is, "It takes a village to raise a baby." Is a little random when I say it out loud like this, but while I do fully agree with that statement, I also think that this statement can be applied in other things, such as hobbies. I have a little sewing village I go to frequently to help me. My dad, who is not a tailor, who's not whatever, his mom has sewn for many years. He is just very mechanical minded, and that is just proof that you don't have to have a seamstress or a tailor in your corner. No, it can be really anyone. And then the second one is my favorite go-to. It's my mother-in-law. I feel like I reference her so many times in various videos. She has just helped me a ton with, design questions or even tension questions, which I run into quite a lot. But she has helped me, and not only that, she's helped me, she is like my cheerleader. She always asks like, "Hey, let me see your progress, like let me see the picture." It's just really fun to have like a little cheerleader for me. And the third community member is YouTube and various other social media forums, and those are so beneficial. I don't know where I would be without them. I learned so much from YouTube, and then also Reddit has been a place that I have been sleeping on, but it is so good. Oh my gosh, I learned a lot of problem solving issues from Reddit, so definitely look up Reddit. All of these community members have really helped improve my sewing ability and also just give me that encouragement that I need. I would also say an honorary member is my husband. He is so supportive of me to continue to do this hobby and to try out different things of sewing. Though anytime I ask him questions, he never trusts his instincts, so he always says like, "You should text my mom." So that's why I have him as an honorary member, because he helps me out so much. Anyways, those are the lessons I've been learning, and like I said, I have been learning so many other lessons. I learned so many other lessons, but I just narrowed it down to 5. If you are beginning to sew, what are some of the lessons that you've learned? If you're an experienced sewer, I'd love to hear what you've learned over the years. Anyways, I will see you guys next time. Bye!